Hello and welcome to the arena. And in a lot of ways, I know for many of you this will be one of the earliest videos that you watch on the channel. So allow me to take a few minutes to introduce both the channel and myself. I've been playing Magic since the mid-90s, started playing right between Unlimited and Revised. Yes, I remember walking into stores and being able to buy packs of Unlimited without needing to fill out a mortgage application. Mostly a casual player. I did have my stint with more competitive play. Actually qualified for the Pro Tour twice before there even really was a Pro Tour, and certainly before anybody called it that. And long before there was $1 million prizes, which is why I'm making YouTube videos and not hanging out in the Caymans. Well, I guess there's one other reason, because I love you guys. I predate the DCI and the certified judge system. I've been around for a while, through the good and the bad, taking a few leave of absences here and there from the game, mostly due to burnout and boredom, and occasionally just really poor design choices. But all in all, I love this game. I come to you with a background in finance and economics, and my intention of this channel is to bring that aspect to the arena format. Arena has its own economy, and there are good decisions and bad decisions to be made. Now, let me be clear, I played this game as a hobby, really about an hour a day, often even less. My goal oftentimes is to max out each day with 4 wins and having completed a single challenge. Really, that's all it takes to generate enough resources within this game, if done correctly, to end up with very full collections every block. You may not end up with all the rares and mythics, but you will end up with all the rares and mythics that you care about. And one of my main goals for this channel is to help you make that happen, to really assist you in making the most of very limited resources, whether that's funds to pay for the resources within the game, whether that's time, or really even if that's interest. My goal is to help you streamline those decision points and end up with the very best that is available to you. Now, for my system to make sense, there's really 2 main things you need to understand about this game. The first being the new player experience decks, or the MPE decks. Those come out once a year in roughly August of each year, and this represents the biggest single card distribution to free-to-play players each year. You'll end up with approximately 600 new cards from the new player experience decks. It is by far, again, the largest distribution, and it is something we have to be aware of and something we have to plan around. The second thing that you really need to be aware of is how Standard rotates each block. Currently, Magic is made up of blocks, that being a collection of 4 sets that are released concurrently. As you can see in the graphic here before you, the yellow area represents older blocks that have already rotated out of Standard, otherwise known as the historic format. Historic is an area that we will pay a little bit of attention to over the first year, but really that is an area that will grow over time as your other cards rotate out of Standard. Standard, of course, is made up of the area that you see in green here, as well as the red area up to the first line. The green area is the older block of Standard, the red block being the newer or about to release or currently releasing block. The green section is where we want to focus all of our efforts. That is an area of Standard that has been played for approximately a year. We already know what the good archetypes are, we know what the good cards are, and there's very little opportunity for us to misuse effort there. On the other hand, the red section is where the new cards are coming into Standard approximately every 3 months. At the time of recording, Zendikar is getting ready to be released just within a matter of days, and will represent that first set in the red section. In essence, we want to completely ignore the red section and allow other people to make the mistakes with their wild cards, their deck strategies, and leave us to reap the benefits of those errors and that play experience that they gain. This is an area where we do not want to open packs, although we will be gathering packs. We don't necessarily want to draft in these areas. In essence, we don't want to collect a single card in this area if we can. The reasoning for this goes back to those new player experience decks that we talked about a moment ago. See, those decks are going to be made up of cards from these red zone sets exclusively. And any card that you don't already own that are in those decks, Wizards will give to you at that time. But if you already have a copy of the card, you don't get another one. It's an all or nothing thing. What we want to do is have as much blank slate as possible. Then we receive our new player decks as a basis for that block, and then on top of that we open our packs that we have accumulated for those sets and begin drafting those sets, accelerating our collection dramatically with a much lower resource ratio. For instance, when Zendikar Rising comes out, there will undoubtedly be a code released by Wizards that will give you 3 free packs. Go ahead and redeem the code, just don't open the packs right away. Let those packs accumulate, and at a point in the future, we will open those when it's most valuable to you and your collection. Wait, you didn't know there was codes? Yeah, hold on. Here's a bunch of codes. Now, the codes at the very top of this list for the guilds block that is getting ready to rotate probably will not be working by the time you watch this video. So just press pause, take down the codes, or open up Arena and go ahead and redeem them right away. I'll be here when you get back. The last 4 or 5 codes should work just fine and give you 3 packs of all of the green zone sets. And the best part about that is you can go ahead and open those. In addition, opening those 12 or so packs will help you earn a couple additional wild cards, more specifically 2 rares and 2 uncommons. Now, wild cards are extremely rare your first year. When you complete your color challenge, you get 1 mythic, 2 rares, 4 uncommons, and 8 commons. And through the course of this year, I am going to assume that those and the 2 rares and 2 uncommons that you get from opening those initial free code packs are going to be all the wild cards that you have for the first year. Now, you may very well earn some extras, but as far as my recommendations, I'm going to pretend that those are the only wild cards that you have. So I'm really going to make my recommendations count. We might get a little cheeky this year and end up getting a second mythic wild card, but so that wraps up a very brief overview of why I recommend you do what you do in this first year to allow you to have as much growth in your collection and your overall fun as possible. So one last thing I'd like to recommend is to like, comment, or subscribe on this particular video, and that will a subscription will give you the opportunity to see all of my future videos as they come out. And in closing, do it for Graham, do it for the algorithm, do it for the iced coffee. big props to anybody who gets that particular joke, and until next time, we'll see you in the arena.